This image is actually quite beautiful, you know? The beauties of man-made wonder meets the beauties of the earth. All right, so work with me for a minute on this one. Let's think about this for just 1 second before I get going. What if I were to record an entire EmKay, like assignment, like I usually do, at least once a week, at least, right? What if I were to record an entire one, super drowsy because I just woke up? Do we think that me being a little out of it could be funny? Huh? Could it be? Could be? I don't know. I guess we're gonna try. My what if is actually more along the lines of, I'm gonna do it. See, I'm yawning right now because I'm sleepy. I know it's 1 p.m. I didn't just wake up. I'm tired, okay? I'm just messed up. I don't sleep good no more. Okay, that's a lie. I never did. What am I talking about? What are we doing today? Oh, weird image subs. Oh, I'm guessing this one's gonna mess with me just a little bit. How are we starting off? My apple is red inside. Okay, all right, we're starting with a red apple. Well, red apple interior. Huh, I've gotta admit, that's actually really weird. No, like really, we're starting off pretty good. That even though you just said what this image was going to be, I didn't fully believe him. I didn't, really. Is this a specific type of apple? Or did this apple go through some strange genetic issues or events? What happened here? You know what? I'm actually just gonna very, very quickly Google that. Inside of my apple is red. All right, let's see here. Usually natural, indicating either a red-fleshed variety like Lucy Glow. Lucy Glow? I've never tried an apple like this. Huh? Anyway, that's cool. I bet it's delicious. Now I actually kind of want an apple. What's your guys' favorite apple? Mine's Cosmic Crisp. Man, I want to do this. I want to get that freaking tomato ketchup bottle so bad in our fridge and have people go, hey, why are you putting glue in the fridge? It's what? Damn, that guy's working out his neck something fierce, isn't he? Ice cream. Cruel world. Okay, what are you guys choosing? All right? I can tell you what I'm gonna choose, but I'm gonna start asking you guys more questions for the comments, okay? Leave yourself a comment. Which one are you choosing, all right? I feel like the results would surprise us just a little bit. Cruel world isn't always cruel. Sometimes it's nice. Now, do you want to live in Cloud Cuckoo Land forever? Plus, I mean, the ice cream's not free, so there is a little bit of cruelty involved in the ice cream. I gotta pay for it, okay? At least there are still some parts of the cruel world that are free, right? Let's think about it through that lens, okay? Oh, man. Okay. No. You know what? I'm gonna be honest, that took me a second because I'm dumb. But that's actually fantastic. I've always wondered why the Pink Panther has to have a mascot. Why? Because it's not the Panther. I feel like they did like a cartoon show where it was, but the movies, that was never the idea. The Pink Panther was always the diamond, right? The jewel that was being stolen. But I always wondered about the actual Panther himself who shows up in the credits and stuff. What the hell is he doing there? Have to say, I like this Black Panther. That's pretty funny, okay? That's pretty good and actually a masterfully put together costume overall. That's great. That's the sort of thing you see at a Comic-Con or an expo or whatever, and you gotta stop that guy to take a photo. You have to. I don't make the rules, although sometimes I do. Warning! These brownies are for and giggles. Some have laxative, some have pot. Eat one, give it 30 minutes, and you'll know which is which. No, I'll know which one I ate, but I'm not gonna suddenly gain the clarity to know which is which to maybe go back for more. This version of Russian roulette's not my favorite. I don't really like being baked out of my mind, and whoo, buddy, they do that. No matter how you think it's gonna go, it's always crazier than smoking it, okay? Always. And while I don't like being high, I would prefer that to just suddenly shitting myself, because you probably put way too much laxative in the ones that are meant to be the poopy brownies, okay? Way too much. So I'll probably feel oh so bad. And I don't know if you've ever had to use a laxative, but it makes you feel bad anyway. Let alone if someone ground up way too much of the stuff. And yeah, you're gonna be crapping yourself in probably, like 30 to 45 minutes, roughly speaking. Okay, so these two are specifically teaming up to annoy the guy on the bottom. That's all there is to it. I love it. I love the effort. These three are adorable, and I wish I could see more of them. As a matter of fact, I wish my job was to look at images of cats more. I'm actually kidding. I mean, I love looking at images of cats, but my thing is, if we go back to r/aw, there is nothing there for us to really talk about, okay? It's just 150 pictures a day of an animal, and I love them all to death, but there's only so much one can say, you know? Like this. Aw, that's really all I can say, all right? Give me an hour and I'll come up with something slightly more clever to say about these three stooges, but I don't have that kind of time. You see, here at EmKay Industries, we have to move lightning friggin' fast, all right? That's what we're all about. That's why I'm so good at my job. It's just comedy, 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 time and time again. Okay, I'm not the funny one. That's definitely going to be Damien for sure. He's the Joker of the current trio here on EmKay. All right, you didn't even manage to take the plastic off, dude. Holy crap. That can't even be satisfying, right? In any way, I can't imagine how that was a delightful bite of cheese for you to have. But whatever. Honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't bother me none. You see, maybe that's just making me more relaxed. You know, coming right out of a nap, sitting down in my chair and beginning to record one of these. Maybe that is beneficial, you know? I'm talking a little slower. I don't feel as stressed, you know, in general. I think I could get used to this. Maybe I'll be so relaxed the next time I see a thing of cheese in a grocery store. I'll just take a big-ass bite out of it and be happy with my day. Communist church. I worship at the altar of communist Jesus. Now that I think about it, I feel like that's just regular Jesus. And communist church should be just regular church, right? I mean, at least strictly by the teachings. You know, we must love one another and help one another, and being rich, you're not getting into heaven, buddy. You can't take that shit with you. You need to be a generous guy. Whether you're living in a capitalist society or a communist one, for sure. You need to care about each other. I don't know why that's such a controversial thing to say. Am I gonna get, no, I'm not going down that road. Good Lord, let's move on. Cool van! In 1952, claims that smoking causes cancer caused Kent Cigarettes to come out with an asbestos filter to protect its smokers. Good Lord, I've seen these before. Oh my God. There's so much one could really say. I'm just kidding. There's nothing you can say about this. I know that 70 plus years ago, things were different. We did not know as much as we do know now, despite the efforts of a very small group of people out there trying to make us stupider. I will say, back then, we legitimately didn't know many of the things we do now. Like, asbestos will give you cancer, right? Are there any people that are still alive? They're gonna be old. They're gonna be really old, but are there any people out there that are still alive that smoked these cigarettes at least once, like a pack of them, not just one off, you know what I mean? Like, smoked at least a pack. They're probably in their 80s and 90s now, minimum for sure. But if they made it to that age after smoking at least a pack of these, I am impressed. They legitimately breathed in formaldehyde rat poison stick with sprinklings of cancer dust. Ooh, I haven't seen this guy in a while. Okay, we got 2 apples. Beautiful. I already see what he's going for. Fantastic. I've missed this guy. I've wondered what he's been up to. This is probably an older photo, I would imagine, but nonetheless, it's so good to see him. He's still fantastic. And probably, I've said it before and I will say it again, one of the most creative minds that has ever graced the internet. I am more than willing to say that. The creativity that goes into his low-cost cosplays are bat insane. Cucumber looking like a sparrow. It does indeed look like a sparrow. I don't know if that cucumber's gonna be tasty at all, but hey, it's cute. It's a cucumber, right? It's adorable. And look, if nothing else, it gave you free internet points. And I would argue that that's more important than anything else, right? As long as we get those numbers on the internet, then we can go home smiling day in and day out. That's all I want for the world. More karma, more upvotes, more favorites, more views. We accept cash, credit, debit, gold, uranium, goats, shrooms, and goats on shrooms. It's a funny joke, but if I brought you a goat tripping out of its mind, you know damn well you're gonna turn me away. Don't sit there and tell me you'll accept uranium when you know if I bring it in, you're gonna start freaking out about radioactivity or whatever. Hell, you probably get pissed off if I brought gold, all right? If I go to any store at all, and I plop down actual solid gold coins, they're gonna go, no, dude, no. And I know you're gonna do the same thing. Okay, hold on. I gotta zoom in here real quick. Where is this? Where do we think this is? I feel like this would be a McDonald's in Japan? No? I actually can't quite tell. What I will say is that that is the most perfect burger that I think anyone at a McDonald's has ever made. I know that in other countries the standards are more strict, so you know this is not an American one. We know that for sure. Those ketchup packets are looking a little AI smushed, but the burger looks okay, right? Am I right? This is actually very sweet. I know it's weird to see, like that is a hell of a contraption. But when you look at this for longer than 2 seconds, you see a dog that is either too old or disabled and cannot go for walkies anymore. And what we're able to see here is whether or not this guy built it by hand or found it and bought it, he is still taking his dog out for walks. And that is beautiful to see. I appreciate you, sir. You are a very kind one, and I hope that your buddy there, whether they're still around or not, has a great time or had a great time. Egg in my egg. Okay, so it's literally an egg inside of an egg, right? Cracked this egg open today, and there was a small egg inside. Poked it with a fork, and it popped open. What? All right, how often does something like this occur? An egg within an egg. Eggception, as we like to call it. That does not look like a normal second egg, though. It's like maybe a shell was gonna form, but there was no need for it because, well, it was already inside of another shell. Did it know? Did it know it was already occupying the same space as another yolk, as another egg white, as another shell? Oh god, warm rock star. Not good. Okay, we get to see it a little closer. Yeah, it looks squishy. It looks like it wasn't able to form its shell all the way. You will experience police brutality very soon. Me? I mean, good lord. I don't need to experience it to know that I find it pathetic and evil. Like, evil, right? But I'll keep an eye out, you know. I'm literally not able to do anything about it, right? If I am brutalized, which I doubt it, but if I am, there's nothing I can do but just let them beat the living shit out of me, right? Because any attempt to defend yourself from an attack from an officer is illegal, right? Whether I push them off of me or hold my arms up to defend from a blow that they've decided they're gonna, send my way. If they decide to take their frustrations out on me, that's all I'm saying. There's literally nothing I can do about it. They are legally allowed to beat and torture me in the streets should they choose. Not weird at all. Not weird at all. Found this weird looking thing while I was cleaning the attic. If I flip to the next image and it's a dead guy or a creepy doll or just those two things, I'm gonna be real mad. I'm gonna be real upset because I don't want to come out of a nap and see scary stuff, okay? Oh, you that is so not what I was actually expecting. It actually jump-started me a little bit. It actually got a little scare out of me. Oh, you suck. What is this thing? It's kind of like, I have a friend that has a long Furby. Really funny. That thing is great. He's horrifying, and he keeps him in a closet for no reason. But what the hell are you? You know what? Nope, I just realized what this is. This is a Labubu. No, I finally seen a Labubu in the wild. I mean, of course, not in person, but you get what I mean. I digress. Okay, good. You got to take more. Oh, you gave it a little ribbon. Yeah, I'm sorry. As creepy as it is, if I found that just in our house's attic, yeah, I'm keeping that thing. That is so funny. That is a beautiful story. Short, but a beautiful story nonetheless. Oh man, I do want to know the history of this thing. What the hell? Report? Oh, okay, I see. I gotcha. If this is real, which it wouldn't surprise me, if this is real, good God, how old is it? It's the troll face, dude. I have seen that thing unironically used, like, I want to say 3 times in the wild in the last 15 plus years. It's been a long time, okay? I am really scared for the day it comes back into vogue. I really am. I'm sorry, honey. Wait, hold on. I gotta look at which one it is. Wait, what? That's it? Okay, this is clearly an older picture. You bought a brand new 2080 Super. I get it. When this came out, it was the like, I understand that there was no 2090, and the 2080 Super was probably the closest we would see, right? Until, when they started doing the 90 set. What was it, starting with the 3000 series cards they were doing the 90? Look, I get it. That was the high-end card. That was the beast mode card for most of us back when that came out. But I'm sorry. I wouldn't even do this with a 5090. I'm a 4090 Strix owner, okay? I would not even do this with the only card I could feasibly get that is technically speaking an upgrade, okay? She gets to sit up front because I want to share in the cool PC building or PC upgrade process, and she's not going to want to be involved anymore. Here's a picture of a 14th century Christian church in Hanover, Germany. Oh, the pentagram, that's interesting. It's badass. It's really cool. But the pentagram didn't become a symbol of evil until the 19th century. Prior to that, Western Europe used it as a symbol of the 5 wounds of Christ. There's an inverted one on the Amiens Cathedral as well. Edit. For everyone saying this is a pentacle, the Star of David is also in a circle here. That's just a building design. The pentacle wasn't referred in Western Europe until the 16th century. Aw, that is, again, all I can say though. They are cutie pies. And the cat is in disguise. The cat is in disguise, but the other two, they're none the wiser, okay? It's incognito mode. The cat is being sneaky. Yeah, I'm not sticking my head out that window, dude. I wouldn't do it, all right? Dude, those things can genuinely kill you. Be very careful. I'd stick my head out after I, carefully removed them, because I feel like if you start smacking them willy-nilly, he's not on the first story, right? He is not on the ground level, so just be careful. Be aware of who could be below. Man, if they made this an official set, which they would never do, because they don't like fun, if they made this an official set, I'd buy it, which I've got a bit of a hot take here, okay? I've been thinking about it a lot over the years when it comes to Ace Ventura 1 and 2. I think that 1 kind of sucks. Like, I just don't really, there's a couple good gags in it, obviously. There are plenty of good moments. But, the strange transphobic undertones and it being one of those movies where the literal entire movie centers around, you're a man! Not funny to me anymore. I mean, hell, it wasn't even funny to me as a kid. I just never understood why. I was like, okay. But the second one, always been better. Always been funnier. Now, of course, I mention undertones in the first movie that I don't like, but I don't mention something that, if I watched it again, I am sure there's some stuff about 2 where I'd be like, yeah, not my favorite, but it's been a while. All I know is 2 made me laugh so hard I almost puked, both as a kid and as an adult, and 1 usually got a couple decent laughs out of me. I think 2 will always be better. That's a fresh one, and it's your whole side there. Have a good day. That's one way to keep people from eating your food at work. I feel like you could just put a label on it, though. Okay, what are these guys? Oh, they're nails. I genuinely did not clock that for a second. My brain had to catch up. Again, still groggy, still a little tired. It takes me a very long time to wake up. And the way that I am narrating this today, I am running out of breath a lot. I feel like I'm trying too hard right now. This orange I just picked, is it delicious? I mean, it looks cool, but is it tasty yummy? Beautiful. Was this actually taken in action, or was it perfectly edited later? Okay, yeah, I'd say it's definitely edited, for sure. It looks like the top of the ostrich's head blends into hers. Very weird. All things are possible. Hey, whoa, dude. Don't you be rearing up on me, you little turd. Sandwich hub. Sandwich that'll make you come. Did you even need to try and be coy if your tagline was going to be sandwich that will make you come? Legalize landmines. Perfect shirt to be wearing on a trip where you know you're going to be going through TSA, or any security for that matter. I love his dreamy eyes. I love her. You love her pee? Yes. No. Hey, don't you tell me how to live, I will do whatever I want to do. I'm a big boy. A wise doctor once wrote, nothing, because they had to write it in half a second so they can move on to the next patient as quickly as humanly possible. My son found this in my grandma's backyard. Kind of unsettling. Help. I'm at what? I'm at Canyon 22? I'm kidnapped. That's beyond unsettling. Like, if I got nothing. I'm sorry, man. This is not cool. That is diabolical, and I'd feel a little weird about you if I saw you with that. Hey, as Quentin said, whenever anybody asks him what was in that suitcase, he just says like an 80-watt light bulb or 70, whatever it was, that it's a 100-watt light bulb. There you go. Of course, that's the boring, anti-artistic view, right? I'm sure that he wants people to interpret for themselves and, come to their own conclusions about the meaning of the suitcase, right? Or sorry, the briefcase. But it's just a dumbass answer in general. It's a light bulb. Don't you get it, okay? It's a light bulb. Show me your feet. Like, come on. Give us something. A little clue, maybe? It's kind of like the Band-Aid being on the back of Marcellus Wallace's head. Like, I'm pretty sure the story is that Ving Rhames just cut his head and they put a Band-Aid on there, and that was it or something. But I don't know. You really honed in on it during his introduction, you know? It feels like there's more to it. I prefer reading into things. It's more fun, okay? That's pretty badass. Did you get them permanent, though, or are they just makeup? Whoa, dude, calm down. He's just trying to get home, brother. He doesn't need this energy. That's actually really creepy. I don't like that at all. Go away. The water only boils on the outside of the sausage. Oh. I mean, I got nothing. Is there an explanation in the comments for this? That is interesting. What is more interesting than that, though, is that your feet are backwards. Also, for free? Why were your feet installed backwards? See, there you go. Weird flyer on light pole. Don't call this number. All right, hold on. Let's take a read here. The light. He did not call this number. The darkness. He did. Please, no matter what you do, no matter who tries to convince you, for the love of humanity and the illuminants that hide deep in the earth's crust, crying and shrieking in a tone unheard by us, please, we beg you. Whoa, okay. For all that is sacred, do not even consider for a second to call this number below. The truest of sincerity, please don't. Do not do it in any form or shape. Do not. Please refrain and abstain from dialing that number below you. I want to call it so bad, but I'm not gonna be that guy. I can't be that guy, you know? It's explicitly telling me not to. And it's telling me that I'll be one with the darkness. I don't want to be one with the darkness. If you wish to call the number, then you can go down that road, but I'm not about it.